The first question we have is around technical debt. So here's the question. My marketing team has serious technical debt. Some of the salespeople are using Excel spreadsheets instead of a CRM. I have marketing tools that don't communicate with each other. I have to pull my analytics together manually. And my website is complex and clunky, and I don't know how to fix it. What do you recommend? And do we have any examples?
We hear this kind of thing a lot. It's especially if you've got a growth stage business or like a small business that's becoming mid-size or mid-size that's becoming large. What worked, what got you here won't get you there. So it's very common to be very scrappy in the beginning, but then at some point that just doesn't work. So like if your salespeople are using Excel spreadsheets instead of a CRM, I would recommend that you get the free version of HubSpot and just start doing that right away. And that'll give you, so you'll have a centralized system. You can send emails from there. You can do landing pages for free. And just for the entry level to HubSpot is also very reasonably priced. So you can do some marketing automations. You could, which, those are the nurture sequences we talked about. And then there's different tiers based on your needs. But I would just recommend you get a tool like that, because then you can set up dashboarding, which we showed earlier. Mm-hmm. So you can do KPIs and know success if you've got it. You could, again, send emails. You can even set up your whole website on HubSpot, which some of our clients have done.
So the marketing automation piece of it is one area where we see serious technical debt, because people cobble together systems over time, usually using real basic tools like documents and email and so forth, as opposed to having a centralized database where all of this information, a repository where all of the information about leads, about customers, transactions with people, deal flow, pipelines, all of that can be modeled. So that's one aspect of it. The other is the website itself is often is where we see a great amount of technical debt. We see websites that have been built often to look good, and so they're intended to be dazzling in one way or another. But then when it comes right down to it, they don't actually serve their audiences that well. They weren't really built with a specific audience in mind. They were built to look cool, and so people get to the website, and after it does its little song and dance, they're not really quite sure what they should be doing next, where to go, how do they find the information that they're looking for. So often what we will do with clients like this is sit down and we'll perform a heuristic walkthrough. A heuristic is just basically to some degree, it's a fancy word for pattern matching. It's about identifying the things that you likely already really know, or you have a gut feel for. You may not have extensive data collection done on this site yet, but you can certainly go through with a UX specialist and identify obvious problems. You can look at, you can further use tools like Hotjar, for example, to look at heat maps and click patterns, and even record sessions and watch people go through the website and see where they're clicking and how they're moving from one page to another, and whether they're going where you expect them to go. And then you have to be able to prioritize the things that need to be fixed, because you didn't get into that technical debt overnight. You're not going to get necessarily out of it overnight. Sometimes it means that you start from scratch and you do a complete site redesign. We'll talk a little bit about, do you really need to do that? Or in other cases, it may just be a question of doing what's called growth-driven design, where you identify your best opportunities and focus on those opportunities to improve the site one step at a time, over time, incrementally. But one way or the other, you're going to start with a morass of different platforms and products that don't talk to one another, and you have to prioritize what's most important to you and where you have capabilities and where you have resources and people to put on this. And then slowly you begin to clean that out and connect the dots one by one. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. You got into it. Over time, it's going to take time to get out of it, but there's no time like the present to get started.